That is just ridiculous, man. Like, this is the path to enlightenment. Like, the people who I'm closest to, every day I tell them, look, I'm looking at God's face, and they still won't listen to me. It's just bizarre, you know. And I hate it because I know they're not happy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that blocks them from seeing the truth and listening to the truth, you know. I don't get it. I guess, like, they've been doing it for generations, you know, like, multiplying words like, this dude has the sniffles, blah, 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 blah. When Jesus says quite clearly, don't do that. Don't multiply words. God knows what you need before you ever ask Him for it. When you pray, pray like this. These are instructions from God, ladies and gentlemen, not to be played with. That's why nobody sees Him, because the whole Catholic Church, they all pray different prayers. They pray to saints and stuff, and pray to the Blessed Virgin Mary, and Jesus never said to do that. When I stopped doing that, because I read what Jesus wanted, I started to see Him everywhere. It's very frustrating for me when people don't listen to me, when it's like, hello, so obvious, showing you pictures and stuff, and like, obviously a super happy guy. That gets me upset sometimes when people don't understand, but I guess I gotta understand that, because when I first started seeing Him, nobody ever told me that I could. I was on a trip up north. I was just decided to get away from my old life, because it was just getting bad, you know. I did not want to sin. I did not want to disobey God whatsoever. I wanted to be clean. I wanted to be straight. I wanted to feel good. So I started to obey Him, and on the way up north to go plant trees up in the Yukon, this was like 2000, I think. 2001, 2000. Went up to the Yukon to plant trees, and praying the Our Father in my mind, like, time and time again. I need you to heal me, God. Like, I didn't say that, but I know that I needed God to heal me, so Our Father. Tried my best to concentrate on His Son and His suffering. As He said, like, if you drink this blood and eat this flesh, you'll have life in you. So, you know, thinking about the blood of His Son and His suffering for us to pay for my sins and everyone else's. And all of a sudden, saw His face in a mountain. I was driving up north, and I was the passenger at the time, and I looked over to this mountain, and all of a sudden there was the trees formed His face in this mountain. I was like, whoa, that's a special mountain. Did you see that? And at that very same instant, I felt like completely healed, happy again. And I was like, that mountain is awesome. Man, I talked to the dude who was driving. His name was Trevor. Trevor, did you see that? Check out that mountain over there. It's got God's face in it. And I didn't see it again. But I continued to feel sweet for like another, how long did I last for? Like 4 months. Because I felt sweet, I guess it was like easier to sin again, right? So I fell back into sin, like so stupid. And, well, God just taught me the lesson a few seconds ago. Because when I fell back into sin, I was not seeing his face anywhere. All I remembered was Jesus saved me. I felt sweet. I didn't remember that face bit, which is now the center of my life. And I fell back into sin. And I didn't see his face the whole time I fell back into sin. As a result of my sin, I was just destroyed, man. Probably because I was telling everybody, yeah, I'm Christian, and then sinning. I just felt so bad. Like ravenous wolf. Like dry. Not good. Like not a good feeling. That's all I can say. Not like a child again. And I remember Jesus saved me from that. So I just kept on. I went back to him for help, and read what he wanted, did it again. But it took a while to get back on my feet, It took me like a year or two. I think it was about 2 years of that. And I just decided I gotta get out of my city again, because I'm not able to live here and stand. That's what I figured. So I left, and I think it was like 2 days or 3 days later, I was up in Revelstoke planting trees, and I think it's the Rocky Mountains there. The Rocky Mountains are huge, enormous mountains, and they're so beautiful. And they're just towering valleys, they're massive. And I was on one side of this valley, real high up on the mountain, all by myself, praying the Our Father in my head, planting trees, boom, 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 hoping to feel better again. And it just all happened in an instant. I looked up, and I saw his face in the side of a mountain in a clear cut. And I thought to myself, just like I'm looking at him right now, I got a picture of the Rocky Mountains on my desktop. This is Lake Louise, actually. And there's my God right there. Well, he's everywhere, but most people find this one easy to see. And looked across the mountains, across the valley, nice lake on the bottom and everything, but I saw his face in a clear cut, and I thought, people in Revelstoke are super Christian. I gotta live here. I'm gonna go back to the city, see if I can get a job, and I'm gonna live here. Is the first thing I thought. And then I looked at another clear cut. I thought, wow, these guys. I saw Jesus' face in there again too, and I wasn't, looking for it. It was just like there. Another clear cut, another clear cut, and it was just magic. I thought, these people are the most Christian people in the world. And then I looked down at the ground, and I saw like pine needles and rocks and stuff, but in his face in the pine needles and rocks, and I was like, what is going on here? So sweet. And then after that, I think I kind of forgot about it for a bit, so dumb. And then I left Canada, and I went to Mexico on a bus. I met this guy. I don't know, maybe it was an angel in disguise or something. And I think I wasn't looking right at God's face at the moment. I don't know what happened. something happened to me that I wasn't looking at him. And this guy who's like, he said he was a crackhead but he stopped smoking crack or something. He came up to me, he was like, "Ah, man, don't have that sad look on your face like, ooh, I lost the light, I lost the light. Look at it, it's right there." He pointed at the ground, and I was like, like I didn't remember, right? And then on that long bus ride, like it was like 3 or 4 days on the bus, I started seeing God's face in the clouds again, because I didn't have anything else to do but pray the Our Father on the bus, and saw his face in the clouds, and it was like, yeah. That was in 2002 when that happened, the Revelstoke thing. And today, in the desktop picture of the Rockies, so many places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. From the mountains and the snow to the trees and the rocks and the water and my skin, every single place that I look, I see God's face. Not because I'm better than you, not because I've never sinned. That's the whole point here. Jesus is good and merciful. He's just waiting for you to do what he says so that he can show himself to you. It's just a big test here, you know. Oh. But failing is tremendously frightening. You fail this test and you go to hell forever. Pass this test and you'll live in heaven on earth. You don't have to wait till you die to be happy. If you follow Jesus' every word, you will be happy. If you're not happy, it is because you're not following Jesus' words. Because happiness is doing God's will. Jesus made God's will very clear to us. The Sermon on the Mount, which you can find Matthew chapter 5, starts Matthew chapter 5, is the meat and potatoes. You do everything that he says there, you will see his face and everything. And everything else that he says too. Because that's how we gain the Holy Spirit for our hearts and our minds and our soul, is doing what he wants, thereby purifying our hearts. Therefore, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Oh. And expect a lot of persecution. Yeah. But Jesus gave us instructions for that persecution. Take great joy, because your reward is great in the kingdom of heaven. When you do that, at first it's hard, you know, but it gets easier.